it's Sunday once again. It's my favorite day of the week because every Sunday I get a chance to like talk to awesome drummers. So this is really like an exciting day for me. And it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK, which is 10 o'clock in the evening in Manila, and 6 o'clock in Los Angeles. So to all our friends in Los Angeles, it's 6 in the morning. I hope some of you are sort of like tuned in. But anyways, yeah, I'm really excited about today's guest because my very first gig of 2023, I actually went to see them. They headlined a gig in Manchester, and she's absolutely amazing, and she's local as well. She lives only, I'd say, just a few minutes drive from where I am. I could have like gone over to her place and do it face to face, but it's an online webcast podcast. So we're gonna bring her on the show now. So my dear friends, please welcome Selina Clements Woolnough.
Hi.
Hello, Selena.
Hi,
How are
you
you?
okay?
Yeah, and you?
Yes, great. Good to see you all.
Oh yeah, it's a good to see you, of course. And so you live in Salford?
Yes, I do live in Salford. Do you live in Salford too? I just heard the
It's
introduction.
no,
Been
it's all
a
like
on you around here. Come for coffee. We'll have a play.
yeah. Well, actually, no, I live in Stockport, which is just sort of like
Oh,
still not
yeah,
too, yeah,
that's quite
not too
okay,
far.
actually.
Yeah, not too far. So, like I said, my first gig of the year, Tuareg, headlining the gig at the Pear Hat,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing. Yeah, but I'm going to ask you about that later on. But I'm really glad that you said yes, because we tried sort of like doing it last year, but it didn't happen last year. And I believe you actually emailed Radcliffe and McConey to sort
I
of like
did. I
talk
did.
about.
I have to. They needed to know they're Salford boys, aren't they? They're down the road.
Well, thank you so much, because I believe Mark Radcliffe is a drummer himself. He is
Is
a
he?
drummer.
Of course he is. Of course he is. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember after lockdown, his band Un, that was the first gig that I went to, and people were still wearing masks at the time.
Wow,
And
that's weird. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was really strange. And then I remember him saying that he's actually a drummer, but this
Uh-huh.
was so. but but this was before I've sort of like started as the drummer, so I didn't get the chance to sort of like say to him, "Will you go on the sort of like on the show?" But
Yeah,
hopefully,
I'll pass email on.
oh yeah, please,
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah. So anyway, so we're gonna start. So welcome to Ask the Drummer.
Yeah.
Episode 66 is all about you, Selina Clements Woolnough. So- um your name's amazing. I really love your name. And so like it sounds really posh, but
Does it really? Not
yeah.
posh. Still posh there.
But I had to also like ask you how to pronounce it properly, because I thought it was like Woolnough or something, but it's Woolnough. So
Well, Woolnough is my maiden name. I know, because I put the Facebook thing wrong. I thought the maiden name had to go first, but anyway, that's besides the point. But
oh,
Woolnough, Selina Clements Woolnough. Yeah,
all
Clements.
right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you born and bred in Manchester or Salford?
No. I'm from Chester originally. I know you're going to say, oh, it sounds posh, but I was from a council estate in Chester. There's council estates everywhere. But yes,
Oh,
in Chester, I was born. Yeah,
and
yeah.
when did you move to Salford?
Salford only 4 years ago. I sort of worked my way up from Chester. I lived in Hazel Grove, then lived a while in Stockport, then come further up to, and now Prestwich, the beautiful years of living in Prestwich. That was
Yeah,
amazing. I've been in Manchester longer than I was ever in Chester.
in
So,
Chester. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I think I moved up this way when I was 18, moved to Stockport. So, yes. and now in sunny.
All right. So, but you were so born and you grew up there in Chester.
Yes, I grew up
So,
there in Chester.
so what was it like? Because I know that Manchester is the music capital of the world, But what about Chester? What was it like in Chester, especially sort of like the music scene there?
Well, my husband told me that there was a great music scene in Chester, but I knew nothing of it. To be honest, I was a bros set as a girl. I was a Spice Girls fan. Well, I wasn't really Spice Girls fan. And then I moved on to rock through my sister, proper rock, like Meatloaf rock.
Oh,
And
right. Okay.
that's just from my older sister, of course, because you do that thing. And it
Yeah.
wasn't really until I moved to Manchester that I started picking up on other music, stuff like the Rolling Stones, and then got into my blues and soul stacks. And it's just, I didn't hear really a Clash song, well, maybe London Calling Clash song, but I didn't hear the Clash properly as a band till I reached Manchester to about the age of 21, and I wished I had heard it all earlier when I was younger. But I went through my Dolly Parton, John Denver stage in Chester as
Oh,
well.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I love
Which,
John Denver. I mean, John Denver was massive in the Philippines when I was a kid. So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, beautiful. Oh my.
yeah. Well, before we continue, I just want to say hello to Doug McLeod. Doug said that he's
Dougie, how you doing, bud? Good
yeah.
to.
He said that
Good.
he's your
Ah,
drum dealer.
oh, he's my drum dealer. Oh,
Yeah.
Doug, I've been wanting to speak to you and catch up, man. Come round. Got loads to tell you. And I
Well,
need
thank you for
symbols.
joining us, Doug
There,
McLeod.
listen, terrible symbols, Doug. Come and help me.
You've got to keep in touch. Yeah, you've got to keep in touch with Selina. But anyway, so because Chester's not really that far from Manchester anyway. So when you were young, did you sort of like go to Manchester a lot? So sort of like
Well, I did have my family here, living over in Charlton Medlock, that area. So we used to come and visit them. And I was working in restaurants a heck of a lot. And I was offered a job in a restaurant in Manchester in Hale Barnes. So
oh
that's
right.
when I first touched Manchester. And I would just sort of work through restaurants. I've always loved music. It's always moved me, but I didn't touch any, apart from I did some violin in school and a little bit of trumpets, things like that. But I
Yeah.
didn't touch the drums till probably about 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Yeah,
Really? So it's
yeah,
not your
yeah.
first. It's not your first musical instrument then.
No, not at all. No, I've always been infatuated by the beat and movement of a song. What it can do to you is just amazing, isn't it? That's why we're here, man. But
Yeah.
but no, it happened completely accidentally. Completely. Yes.
All right. Well, I'm
Uh,
gonna ask. Yeah, because well, so 7 years ago, that's what got you into drumming.
yes, yeah, yeah. When it
Or have you
was
always been like, when you were young, have you always been sort of like just maybe tried bits of drumming or maybe you just,
yeah, well,
or
it was more forced into it by school because I did sort of like one of these tests and they were like, you've got to play the violin, you must. And because they forced me into it, it's one of those, and so yeah, it was a good family member of ours. That's not really family, one of those uncles. It's not your uncle, Barry Pritchard. He brought a
yeah.
drum kit down to our house in Prestwich for my children, my boys, three of them, crazy lads, great.
Oh, yeah.
And he said he doesn't want it because he was moving. Have you got room for it? I was like, yeah, sod the kids. That's mine. That's mine. And my husband was playing the bass with Bolt, Martin, and Andrew Bolt. Hoping you're around. Um, and I said, well, you need a drummer. And I just started playing on the drums. And, it's just it just went from
Yeah.
there and back. It's cool.
So it's actually your uncle actually took it to your house for your children, but not. But
Yeah,
you're the one who actually got it.
yeah, yeah. So no, they don't need that. That can. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Aiden said that all looking and sounding good and fab because Aiden is my husband, who's also my tech support. So that's good when he says that it's all looking and sounding good. So
Fab, fab,
that's
fab.
brilliant. So I know that you also play bass because sometimes, like I see you, like with Cold War Swimmers,
Mhm.
towards the end of the gig, you and Carrie would swap sort of like instruments. So
Yes.
so um, which I'm not gonna say which would you prefer because I can tell that you really love drumming.
The
But so
drum.
how did you get into sort of like playing the bass
Yeah,
as well?
I don't know how these guitarists do it. The pain in the fingers. Hats off, respect to all string players. It's just the pain and all that to remember. It's crazy. But I think my real heart would be. I tried to build one over lockdown,
Yeah,
which didn't well. A double bass. I've always liked to have a go at a double bass. Always,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think
That's
that's what it's gonna be me, but I don't know because I've never tried it. Just it was amazing to give that one a go, but it's too much. That's why I tried
yeah,
to build,
yeah.
but
I mean, that's a huge instrument as well. You have to sort of like
yeah,
go. the whole-
yeah. Tiny house,
um,
big instruments.
yeah, yeah. Well, when your uncle sort of like brought the drum kit to your house, did you go for any sort of like drum lessons, or did you just teach yourself?
Now I did go for drum lessons, but years and years and years before any of this drum thing happened, because I did say that I was always really infatuated by the beat. And I was reading the newspaper one day and I seen come for drum lessons, and it was, I think it was before I was married, and before it was definitely before children. So you're talking about 10, 15 years ago. Um, and I went to this place. It was in Vale. I went for two sittings with the dude, and it was bizarre. It was in Vale, and I went to this dude's house. It was an older dude, and the first thing he said to me was, "The drums are not a musical instrument. This is a sport." And bizarrely enough, he later bragged to me that he was Bernard Manning's drummer. And I know there's another drummer in Manchester, old Charlie Moore, um, drummer, fantastic, beautiful person. Also went for a couple of, which was bizarre, a couple of catch-up lessons with this drummer. But yeah, two lessons I went for him twice, and because he kept on shouting at me, and there was one time I had a massive pair of cowboy boots on, and I couldn't play the bass drum, and he wouldn't let me take the shoes off. So I took my shoe off and chucked it at him, and just said thanks. I never went again, and that's. But those two like 1 hour sessions I had with that dude, he taught me the very basics, and it was spot on what he did teach me. Yeah,
Oh,
so that's what got me through, and pretty much that's it. And Mo Tucker showed me the rest, really.
oh, yeah, yeah. So,
Not
after this, so what was your first band?
my first band was the EPI, which was my husband. It's a big collective, and we did some things for Manchester International Festival. We did the Velvet Underground music, and yes, so yeah, that was my husband, Martin and Andrew Bolt. Um, there's so many of them. Carrie Lawson, Stella Grundy, Rob
Yeah.
Gray, Rob and the magnificent big band. Rob Gray is wonderful. Derek Goodwin. There was lots of us, yeah, and there was a few guests.
Yeah, I think I've seen so like because the first time I saw you was at the Spinning Top in Stockport, but
Yeah,
as you and Carrie you played as Tuareg.
all
Um,
right.
but I think I remember sort of like seeing EPI Collective before, but that's
Yeah,
with Dr. Aziz. I think it was Dr. Aziz part of the EPI Collective. Is he
Uh,
Ibrahim?
no, I don't think he was.
No.
No, no.
Yeah, because or maybe it was sort of like something else. Because I remember he's always there, but
Oh
every
yeah,
time I
he's
look,
always
he's sort
there.
of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
He's
gonna
a
be
great
Tuareg.
roadie as well.
Yeah. But I want to say hello to Derek Goodwin as well. He said big up the EPI, so that's what.
Yeah, man. Hey, Derek. Have you spoken to Ian Nance yet, Derek? Come on, baby. Come on, let's make some music. Where are you?
Right, so the EPI Collective. So was it before you formed Tuareg, or is that
Yeah,
part of
yeah, yeah,
the?
yeah. Well, Tuareg sort of came from the EPI because obviously after my husband died, we all sort of dispersed, but we kept. Obviously, we're all really, really good mates. God, I couldn't the best guys in the world, and it was my husband Paul Clements who's seen an advert for. It was for the Emily and Pankhurst Centre. It was a Women's Day, and
Yeah,
Carrie and I, our first ever gig was at was not at the academy, believe it or not, for
yeah.
this Emily thing, and that's how Tuareg grew.
Where did the name come from? Because Tuareg is like the is it like people from the Sahara Desert or no? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The name I think was thought by Luigi Brandolani, who and yes, it is from the Middle East, and it's a group of people that the women rule the roost. Really, they say what's what and how it goes, and
yeah,
they're not a person. Yeah, with respect, which is great, which is the way it should be. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you
Because
call it.
yeah, because I looked it up and I was sort of like thinking, I had the idea that it's actually from sort of like African Middle Eastern sort of like background, and there's actually like a group of Tuareg musicians. I think they're
There is.
called Tinariwen or something. And I remember seeing, I think they did a gig last year or a
They did,
tour
yeah,
last year in the
yeah.
UK.
Yeah, they've
So,
done a few gigs in the UK. Yeah, I was supposed to go to one of their gigs actually, but it was so far away that I just couldn't get there. But Carrie Lawson has been to a few of their gigs, and they know each other almost now. It's they've obviously the first thing she said is, "I've got a band called Tuareg too." And, yeah, cool. Yes, yeah. And,
oh, that is so good. And yeah, like I said, so first time I saw you and Carrie together as Tuareg in Stockport, and then I've been to sort of like to several of your gigs, but the last time I remember before this year's was when you supported the God in London,
oh
and
yes,
that was
yeah.
in 2017. I was there, and
No way were you there.
yeah, I was at that gig in London because the day after the God supported the Stone Roses. I didn't
Yeah.
go to the Stone Roses gig.
Oh man, that was so amazing. It was so cool. And gosh, seeing the footage of the God going on
Yeah,
to play that. Wow, what a rush that must have been. I was trying to talk, saying, "You sure? Come on, Simon. Simon, come on, sure. You need another drummer. You need two drummers. Everybody needs two drummers." But,
but then I was sort of like the next thing I know, the next thing I sort of like heard, the God are gone,
yeah,
and
whoa.
then Chris Bridges sort of like joined forces with Tuareg
Yes,
and
they did.
formed Cold Water Swimmers.
Yeah.
So how did that happen? How did that come about?
That happened by a Mr. Christopher Bridget. Oh, I hope you're online, baby. I miss you and I love you. I want to batter the shit out of you sometimes. I love you. But it happened by him coming up to us after the gig and putting his arms around us two ladies and saying, "You know what, ladies? You know what you need in your band? You need me." And we never looked back, and we went on this magnificent journey together. It was great. Yeah.
That
What's
is
right? Talk about kahunas on the dude.
I know. Well, there's a gig on Thursday, Thursday,
Yes,
Thursday,
there is.
Thursday,
There is.
Thursday, Thursday. There you go. We're back.
I
So sorry about that. It's just that, I mean, even my husband was sort of like saying it shouldn't really happen with modern technology, but I suppose,
we need
there's
fun.
always, yeah, there's always that glitch. Technical things. But anyways, we were talking about the formation of cold water swimmers,
Yes.
from that gig that the God sort of like had in London.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just really a bit of a shock that after sort of like supporting the biggest band in the whole world, and then shortly after that, they're gone. So,
They're gone. All my whole and oh gosh, and all the others. We're so beautiful and but yeah, it was a shock. And then hi,
yeah, yeah, that's right. Well, let me just say hello to Rob Jones. Rob Jones is the drummer of the High Five and also Wahid with
hi.
with Pete Wiley. So
Yes.
yeah. So hello, Rob. Thank you for joining us, and also Alan Ramirez, who's in Manila, I believe. Yeah. So he's also joined us. Thank you for joining us, Alan. Yeah. So cold water swimmers. I've seen cold water swimmers so many times, like loads of times. And you're really amazing because what I really love about the three of you is you're so like fresh and it's like I don't know if it's sort of like punk or anything, but the way you play the drums,
Uh-huh.
it's it's always like I wish I could do the same thing. It's not sort of like angry or anything, but you really have this sort of like force that you go. Especially at the end of every song. It's so like at the end of every song that when you do that, I was like, oh my god, if only I could do the same thing.
It's um it's something I'm not really in control of, uh which is crazy. So my cats come to see us. I've been shouted at by many a sound man or a recording man to say, the harder you hit it, it won't be any louder. I know that. I just can't help it, which is why I end up injuring myself actually sometimes quite a lot. And then I've
Yeah.
ended up with a little bit of septicemia on an odd occasion after getting overexcited, smashing my hands against drums, wrapping it up with gaffer tape and carrying on. And the blood doesn't like that sort of thing. It doesn't like it. So, yeah, it's just to get taken over by the tunes.
Yeah. Well, the last time I saw you at the what's it called? That place in Deansgate. That was the last Cold Water Swimmers gig that I went to.
Yes, of course. That
You,
was great. That was a
yeah,
very unusual place it was backed away, wasn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And I remember you hurt yourself there.
right, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Neil. I mean, Neil and me were sort of like looking at you. It's like, oh my god, there's blood coming from. So,
This lady's bleeding. And bless him, Bob, who is so amazing. Bob, you must know Bob.
yeah, Bob
Was
McDuck. Yeah.
definitely a cold water swimmer, bless them. Uh, he used to come with the first aid kit for us, and it was just spot on. Yeah.
Well, before I ask you about the new Tuareg, because now you've got Dr. Aziz with you as well. So it's not just you and Carrie, but Aziz Ibrahim, who's like the greatest guitarist in the whole
Yeah.
world. So,
And the greatest guitarist in the world is playing bass for us, man. I mean, what the heck is that all about? Yeah. But I hope he doesn't mind me saying it. Well, obviously he won't mind me saying it. But he actually started out as a bass player before he was a guitarist. That if you come home gig, the Lahore to Longsight thing that he did at home that was so beautiful. It was
Yeah.
about his father. And and he brought his brothers on stage because he was
Yeah.
one of the younger of the family, and he had older brothers that used to play the guitar. So they said to him, "Well, you must play the bass because we play the guitar." So he started out as a bass player. So
Oh,
we kindled his childhood for him.
yeah. That's actually sort of like the first time that I've seen, or I've noticed, because people have sort of like said to me there are sort of like 6 string bass guitars. Because I noticed that he was playing, because normally it's like a bass guitar only got 4 strings, but
Yeah,
he had a 6 string
not
bass
even
guitar.
5 string. My husband, that was a bass player, would be turning in his grave. 6 strings. It's a strange one. His bass, a bass B something B5 or something. So it seems to be sort of in between a bass and a guitar, but whatever he does it superbly. Uh,
Yes, yes, that's true.
with
That's
that much uh, uh, exercise in it, he needs something bigger than just a
oh.
box bass.
Well, so what other sort of like bands that you were? Because I've noticed that on Discogs, you're listed on Discogs, by the way, and it actually says that you're in a band called the Flamingo Diaries.
Oh, of course, I'm in a band called Flamingo Diaries. So who's listening?
It's
So
on it's
Flamingo Diaries. Of
yeah.
course, I can't believe after all this. Flamingo Diaries is my band. No, it's not my band. It's our band. But I didn't mean it's the main band of me, definitely. Martin Bolt and Victor, who because me and Martin sort of started off as a two-piece, and it was the same with me and Carrie, really. But Martin Bolt was the dude that I was talking about from the EPI that sort of
Yeah.
grew out from the family of the EPI. And we ended up doing recordings. And we record here in my humble abode in my conservatory. And he comes round once a week, and such beautiful music. I mean, the guitarist, the strings of it is the most beautiful thing to play along to, and it's just amazing. Oh, and of course we've got the Upright Sinners. We've
Yes.
got
Yeah.
right, yes, that spawns from that, and then of course we've got Damien, the Madison that we used to do stuff with after the EPI. There's so many bands, but yeah, the Flamingo Diaries are the dudes, are the coolest dudes. It's like Tameside Delta. It's it's rock and roll, it's jazz, it's soul,
Yeah.
country
Yeah.
blues, everything. It's the best. It's the one I
Oh, wow.
love playing along with. It's beautiful.
So all of these bands actually came out of the EPI collective.
Yeah, yeah, they did. Yes, yeah. They grew, and because after my husband died, everybody sort of dispersed, and then we all sort of grouped together and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I've also
Yeah.
sort of
The
like
Bingo Diaries.
I then
Sorry,
I was
I was saying
like,
the Bingo Diaries are good.
yeah. Well, I've also sort of like found out on Google when I was sort of like
Okay.
researching your name that there is a sort of like I don't know if it's a collective or a music um magazine. It's called Flaming Go Go. Um,
Yeah.
what? So is that
Now, Flaming Go-Go music is the music that me and Martin make really together. Yeah, we record it, and it's one of them that we record it and we put it out as Flamingo Go music, and
all right?
so it's all interlinked. Yes.
Okay, so but the band is called Flamingo Diaries, but then when you
Yeah.
sort of like release it, it's Flamingo Go music.
Music,
So is that?
yes. We released a song of Tuaregs on Flamingo Go Music, and of course the yes. So it's almost like a little bit of a label, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But this is so much, so many different pockets of everything that it does all interlink to basically culture media.
Yeah, so you're in so like Tuareg and then Cold War is famous. Upright Sinners and Flamingo Diaries still playing? Do you still play
Well,
or is it?
not for a long time because Michael Upright Sinner, he lives in Bristol with me Julie, and I love that dude so much, and because we're so goddamn far apart, it's just and we will get to do and go over again to Bristol and make some more upright sinning. We're gonna do
Oh,
some more sinning.
yeah. And,
Last thing I do.
so you're really so like a very busy drummers with all these so like bands that you're in. So but when you're not drumming, so is there so what takes up your time? Do you write music or do you write
I
your own songs? Or?
do write music. I've recently been gifted a beautiful guitar that strum every now and then. But my time is pretty much taken by my cats, who's perched beautifully on the bass drum right now,
Okay.
and the three crazy ass children, Joe, Luke, who are twins, and Charlie, who's my eldest. And in between that, I do some work over at the university in Manchester. So yeah,
Oh,
that's what
oh, wow.
takes my
So
time.
what do your children think of you being, a drummer? And so like are they like, oh my God, my mom is so are they
Yeah,
have they
they
ever felt like have they ever been to your gigs or have they ever
yeah they've
seen
been
you?
to a few gigs, and then um, they just say, yeah, that's cool, mum. That's all right. They've been to a few of my gigs, yeah. And Charlie, my eldest, makes a great roadie because he's really particular. He makes a list of everything that needs to have, like triangle tick, shakers tick, um, and yeah.
Well, there's one thing that um I'm sort of like I don't know whether I should ask it because for me drummers are drummers. I shouldn't really differentiate whether so like there's a male drummer or a female drummer. But I was actually gifted a book that's called When the Drummers Were Women. And it was so
Wow, I'm so getting that. Come on, let me see this, baby.
this
Why
one.
don't I know about this?
So when it's called When the Drummers Were Women.
Lamb, who's the author there?
It's
Yeah.
Lane Redmond, the author. So I
Oh,
got
that's
gifted this
cool.
for Christmas, and I was sort of like thinking, because another friend of mine, when I posted it on Facebook, another friend of mine sort of like said that actually Tracy Thorn of Everything But the Girl wrote a
Mhm,
book about Lindy Morrison of the Go Betweens, and I
mhm.
think this was mentioned. This book was mentioned in it, or something like that. But anyways, what I really sort like, I'm curious to ask. I don't really want to sort of like differentiate them, but is there sort of like a major thing, or what's it like being a female drummer in a in a band. I mean, there's Carrie and you. I mean, it's not like you're the only female
Yeah,
musician in Cold Water Swimmers. Carrie's that too. But
yeah.
as you also like experience with the other musicians, is there
It,
any
now, you
you
know what? It's really weird because I don't think I've ever. I do have a habit of going through life with my eyes not really being in the moment. It's like, oh, there's something pretty. So sometimes feelings like from other people. But I don't feel that I've ever really had that much sort of arrogance or anything like that being a woman. And I don't feel that it's made any difference. But it's sort of, I don't know. I've felt that I've definitely used being a woman for some help from people. And, you know, I don't think it's ever really made much difference. But I have had, a few, comments from crowds of people that have come to see gigs saying, seeing Carrie and I, especially when we were Tuareg, when we go out as Tuareg, it's we can receive her, but I think we end up afterwards proving our own when we knock out some tunes and we make people feel the way we do. I hope, anyway. That's the way I sort of see it the other way. And the other side of it, it can be more of a, I salute you ladies to what you're doing. And as opposed to, oh, it's just two girls. So, yeah, it is a weird one, but
yeah. Because obviously, like with Chris Bridget, obviously he saw something there. That's why he said, let's do this group, and I'll leave the God, and then we'll join forces and sort of like start
I don't know if he left the God especially for us. I don't know very much. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Well, Carrie's been around for
Carrie's been around.
Yeah, Carrie was in the band with Funky Si.
Yeah, she has. I love Funky Si so much. Oh, I can't believe all these wonderful people. It's so exciting. Yeah, she has. She was in The Weeds. You know. Yes, yeah.
And now, with Tuareg having Aziz, Dr. Aziz. I like calling him Dr. Aziz because he is a doctor, isn't it? So, what are your plans? So you've had your first gig with him as the new member of the band.
We recorded a song. We've recorded a few songs, obviously, before the Flamingo Diaries. Martin recorded some songs, Martin Bolt. Actually, I think we may be going towards looking for a name for a band. Answers on a postcard, please. And seeing where it takes us, because I think with Carrie and I in Tuareg, which I think got by through the pent-up anger of things of past, I think that's where my when I
your
really
style of playing,
when I get into it, it's the passion of it. But I think with the two-piece, there's only so far you can go, and then the introduction of a different level to the music, and as people as well, we're changing. So it's less really sometimes of the kick-ass anger, and we're moving towards something a little bit more, and it's seeing how it goes. Really, yes, it's so new, obviously, that I don't think even us three know it yet. So see how it goes.
Well, good luck, because that first gig, that was really amazing. Seeing the three of you there. I really enjoyed that one. Because, like I said, I mean, the way you play the drums, because I could tell the concentration on your face as well. Because I don't think you really saw like, I've never seen you do the twirl. You don't twirl, do you?
Well, now we had a small time then when everything went out for me. So what was the beginning bit?
Well, are you still okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the way when every time I see you sort of like play the drums, you're concentrating and you're really, like you said, you're hitting, hitting it really hard, and then it's almost like at the end of the song, it's like, yes, yes.
What a feeling, honest to God. It's just amazing. God knows what I would be like as a person if I didn't have these or this or the blood. You know, to get out all of my inners. I recommend it to everybody and anybody in the world. Just it's
so,
fab.
so is that sort of like anger that you're releasing?
I don't know. Excitement. Everything rolls together. Excitement and the beat and the music. And the adrenaline is it's superb. Yeah. I think my life when I'm not behind a kit is so much better because I am behind a kit. Kick the heck out of stuff and get it all out. So yeah.
I know, it's like, because you can tell that, when it's nearing towards the end of the song, it's like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
and then you stand up as well. You tend to sort of like stand up, and like, that's it, that's the end of the song, and then you sit down again and then start another one, and then
Yeah, the standing up thing, actually, that has always been from the start, because when I was playing stuff with like the EPI originally, I would get so actually overexcited that I would want to push the entire kit forward and just almost like smash the thing up. So to control the inner sort of anger, not anger, I don't know what it is. I stand up and sort of take a little bit of a step back and take a breath, because otherwise a lot of it will come out in big force. And
right.
they don't like that on stage when you're live, when you set up and you've got mics everywhere, So.
Yeah, I remember there was one time that you played, and what do you call it? Is it a hi hat, or
Yeah.
it sort of like kept falling off, and then you had to sort of like scurry it back, and then it would
Yeah.
come off.
Yeah.
And is that because of how hard you're hitting it? That's is that what
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a couple of things. I've not probably been trained properly as a drummer, and knowing, I presume in these lessons when you get like it's proper lessons, it'll be the way to hit a drum, as opposed to knocking the bloody thing over. So, or um, so yeah, I need good stands, good stands, sturdy stands.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask you then. Have you ever actually sort of like hit someone? I know that you've hurt yourself while playing drums, because I've seen you sort of like fingers getting bloody and something. But have you ever actually sort of like hurt anyone, or maybe or
No,
hurt
no,
yourself?
never. No, there was one incident when I was quite a bit younger, when I had to headbutt somebody, but that was a bad situation when I was on my own and a bunch of men, and I injured myself more than the other person. But no, any confrontation with anybody, I usually cry and run away. No, not at all. So yeah, no, never. Well,
Yeah.
no, no. Whenever people do start on me quite a lot, actually, they want to fight me, and I usually cry and say no and run away home.
Oh no. Is that sort of like being a musician, or why
No,
would they want
no,
sort of
just in the
like
private life. Yeah, just wandering through town, taking the kids to McDonald's, things like that. Or the shit takeaway places are available. But yes.
Oh, I thought we saw like with some drummers, so like wanting to have a fight with you or something. I hope not, because
Oh,
I think
no,
drummers
no,
are
they're all
amazing. So.
great, man. I feel like I'm in a little drummers club. It's great because we all badly, and that's why I love your podcast so much. Ask the drummer. It's
Oh,
superb.
well, do you know when they're like four mates, let's say three or four bands in one night, and like if you're the headliners, is that your kit that's always that they use that the other bands use, or?
Sometimes it is. Yeah. If I can help it, it'd be either the house kit. To be honest, I'm not really bothered. But sometimes, yeah. My playing kit is the big purple kit that was sold to me by Doug McLeod, beautiful drummer
Oh,
dealer,
right.
my dealer. My beautiful big purple Yamaha. Yeah, it's either the house kit, somebody else's kit, or cobbled together, whatever.
Yeah, and how easy is it for you to sort of like adapt that if it's not your own, so like jump kit? Is it easy for you
Yeah,
to
I think
play it?
sometimes I cut myself and bruise myself, and more when it's somebody else's kit because of the level. Because I've sort of learned to try and stop me hurting myself because it's not good to spray blood all over the people in front of me sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's usually all the kits that I do that on. But yeah, just I'll hit
Yeah.
anything, whatever. You can make a beautiful sound, I think. I don't
Just
mean hit. I mean, yeah.
because it's one of those things that's like with drummers, especially if it's their own kit, they have to stay, sort of like sorting it, and while the singer or the
Yeah,
guitarist can just sort of like
yeah.
talk to people.
Every gig that it's my stuff that I provide, I always leave something, lose something. There's so many parts to a drum kit that's so annoying. And then you've got your string playing tarts up front saying, "Come on, are you done yet? Are you done yet? We're ready." And I'm there with like this mountain of things still screwing stuff together, and but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, it's
pain.
just so. Yeah, and also it's sort of like you've got to carry all these things with you, while sort of like the guitarist will only have their own guitar
Yeah,
and.
turning up like that. Well, I'm ready. Like lugging this like mountain of stuff. The amount of taxi drivers that have thrown drum kits into, they're like, "Come on, love, what's this all about?" And tram. I've done trams in Manchester with a bass amp and a drum kit.
Oh no.
Great fun. Great.
Well, I'm gonna ask you, do you have any drumming heroes? Uh,
Oh, lots of drumming heroes. I love the most simplest of beats. So you've obviously got your Mo Tucker. That's just I mean, she was never known as a really really good drummer, but that to me, I think there's a difference between being a drummer or keeping the backbeat. And you know, being a drummer, it seems that you can be your Genesis type drummer, or be everywhere. But personally, I believe to playing a kit behind a band, I'm there to cradle them and to just let them do their thing over it. So I feel personally keeping it as simple as possible. Like almost Elvis type. Yeah, I don't feel that a drum kit's needed, just a bit of wood to just keep it going for the beauty of the melody, and then the vocals to go over it. I'm
yeah,
there to just present it all for them, and then they can just ride all over it. It's great.
yeah, yeah. So you're not gonna do so like a drum solo or
Oh, yeah.
do
There's a time and a place. It's like, excuse me, the beat's in. You shush, you shush. It's my turn now. Yeah, of course, there's gotta be. Because they're so. Because I love the percussion side of things and everything. They got the bells, tambourines, and
Yeah.
everything. It's just. It doesn't have to be just the thing, just to make. It's almost like a touch on a
Yeah.
beautiful thing that will make the difference.
I don't think I've actually ever seen you sort of like play like bongos and the like the bells and things. It's always just sort of like the drum kit. You've
They,
not even
they,
sort of like the tambourine.
yes, yeah, I think so too. And that's another thing with the whole new scene Tuareg with Aziz and Carrie Lawson, and hopefully the Flamingo Diaries as well. The bringing out a few different things than just the plain old kit, to just bring different levels to it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because you're actually on Discogs. You're actually described as a drummer and a percussionist as well. So it's which is
Oh,
yeah, it's good. That is really good. Um, so Cold Water Swimmers. There's a gig on Thursday night. This coming. So I'll see you there. And
okay.
and what's next with Tuareg? So, any plans for other gigs and stuff?
Yes, we've got a gig coming up. It's not completely planned out. It's either going to be at Gulliver's again on the 8th of April, or at the Pier Hat again on the 21st of April. But either one dates have not been properly put in. Either one date has been penciled in. Yes,
And
for the
what
um,
about sort of like album? Are you are you gonna release sort of like an album or
I'm sure we have been discussing some to do some recordings together, but in a different kind of way with the new look Tuareg with Aziz. Um, so that's going to be exciting to do. None of us really know any of the details for it yet. To tell you, so watch this space. And
yeah.
gonna be interesting, man. Hopefully we're gonna bring some different things to the scene.
Yeah, well, I hope that you're gonna come to the spinning top because that's where I actually used to see you quite a lot.
Oh,
Dr. Aziz
they
used
are
to play.
my one at the spinning top. I love that dude, and it's bizarre because I live in Salford, and I would almost count, even though I've not been there for a while, because we've all only started going out again, really, haven't we?
Yeah,
I used to feel that the spinning top was my local, and that's in Stockport. I love that place so much. So
yeah,
yeah, we'll catch up there soon.
yeah. Well, I'm going there again. Well, I'm going there this afternoon actually because
Oh,
Chris Lay of the Icicle Works, he's playing at the spinning top. So I'm hoping so. Like, well, not I'm hoping, but I'm actually gonna go there after this one. But anyway, so
okay.
yeah, that's really good news about Tuareg as well. So I'm really looking forward to the next, like what you said, the new look
Ah,
Tuareg. Yeah. Another one that I've always sort of like asked the drummers is like, do you have any advice to sort of like aspiring drummers or musicians out there?
yeah, listen to as many beautiful things as you possibly can. And you don't necessarily need to spend money on instruments, especially drums, because you've got anything around to bang on and just feel the beat, and it'll take you the places where you want to go. I think. As of me, I don't know how I've gotten away with it for so long, but
Like I'm so like, well, you know you played in London. It's
I know.
Tuareg.
I have no idea how to play any of these instruments. I played in London, man. Exactly what I mean. You can get away with anything as long as you love it and you're passionate, which is what I
Oh,
think.
that's actually amazing. That is really good. Yes, as long as you love what you're doing,
Yeah,
I think, yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. And I can tell that you really enjoy,
yeah,
you really love drumming, which
yeah.
is for me, whenever I see you, I was like, oh, like I said, I wish I could do the same because I mean, I had this sort of like a couple of lessons myself when I was younger, but it's just that for me, it's because I love watching drummers. I couldn't really sort of like concentrate on learning it myself. I'd rather just
I
watch.
exactly know what you mean. It's so many times that I've been given some tunes to learn and I have to listen to, and I get like 2 minutes into it, and I'm just like, yeah, this is great. Oh, shucks. I've not remembered it again. You just danced through the whole thing. Let's listen to it again. Oh, this is great. And then, yeah, Velvet Underground is worse for that.
well, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sort of
Thank
like saying
you so
yes.
much.
Like Aiden said, great conversation, plenty of pizzazz, and I'm really glad that you said yes to Ask the Drummer, and
Oh,
I'm really
I'm honored.
grateful to
Yeah,
you,
honored.
and I'll see you soon,
I'll, I'll see you soon, Anna. Definitely. Yeah. I think you should
definitely.
come round. We should have a play here. You're welcome to my abode. Yeah. Beautiful thing. Cool.
Oh, that would be great. You could teach me to sort of like do a few things.
Yeah, cool. Two drummers. It's the future.
When you sort of like another thing that sort of like came to mind. I'm sorry, I know that it's after 3 o'clock now, but when you see Funky Sai,
Yeah.
um, being a really sort of like amazing drummer as well. Do you talk sort of like drum talk with Funky Sai, or
Yeah,
is that
yeah, yeah, because definitely like from any drummer, because I've not really been doing it. Well, I've been doing it quite a while, like 8, 9 years, 7, 8, 9 years.
yeah?
And these dudes have been doing it for a long time. They know their stuff, they know what to use to help with ringing and stuff. So usually whenever I get in the company of people like Funky Size or any other or into Goldfinger and things, I just peck their brain saying, what do I do with this? And I've got this and I don't know what to do. And do you know how to do this beat? And rah, rah, rah. So yeah, I don't know if other drummers do that, but I just annoy them, I think.
And they've always been sort of like really helpful to you, and also like, oh, this
Like,
is how you
yeah,
do it.
man. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
there's loads of the bands like the Mark with the Rolling Beats and Spencer, the drummer from there. He's just amazing. He's helped me loads. Yeah, and
Oh,
Douglas House.
at least it's not like like you said, you're in a drummers group. It was all like,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much, Selena.
Oh,
I'm really really glad and grateful. That I finally got a chance to talk. Because when I see you at gigs, I don't really talk much. I just sort of like it's not like I have a photograph and stuff. So as the
too
drummer
much
for me, it's
noise. It's
amazing.
fun. One to one. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to speak to you properly.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'll see you soon.
Okay,
And
love you.
yeah,
See you
yeah,
real soon.
see
Bye.
ya. Bye. Bye. Oh, thank you so much. It's really good. Oh, she's so lovely, Selena. Thank you so much to all of you who joined us live. I'm really, really sorry about what happened earlier because modern technology. I mean, it's still got all these glitches and things. So, but for those who missed for those who sort of like missed the live broadcast webcast, I'm gonna get it uploaded on YouTube anyway. So it's not gonna be I'm gonna remove all the bits where it's got all these sort of like loop sound thing. So it's gonna be just one continuous show, one continuous solid conversation. But anyways, thank you so much once again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all again next Sunday. And as always, love music, love life, love drummers. There's just amazing people. We've seen Selena. She's so lovely. So I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. Bye.